Hi, my name is Lexi. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about my journey with intermittent fasting and particularly my 2-year journey with alternate day fasting. So I just want to say that if you're new here, welcome, and also if you've been following me since the beginning, I've been on YouTube for 1.5 years now. I started YouTube when I was 6 months into my alternate day fasting journey. And I just really appreciate all of you guys. You always have such nice things to say and also things to contribute to help other people out. And I think that's really important. So today I just kind of wanted to give a recap. As of September 17th, 2021, I will have been doing alternate day fasting for the majority of the time for 2 years. So I started on September 19th, 2019, and basically I had been dabbling with intermittent fasting for a few months at that point and just really hadn't found my groove with it, but I was really committed to it. I knew that it was good for me. I knew that it was just something that I could stick with long term and have a lot of freedom with it. And so I decided to start alternate day fasting, and I'm so glad that I did. And I have a lot of videos on, tips and just the whole emotional journey, how-tos, updates, a lot of that stuff. So if you want to check out any of my old videos, I'd be happy to have you. And so today, first of all, I just want to introduce myself a little bit if you're new. I have 4 kids. I have 4 boys. They are currently between the ages of 5 and 14. I homeschool. We recently moved to Idaho from Nevada in the United States. And that's kind of just a snapshot of me. So today I wanted to kind of just answer a few of my frequently asked questions. So the first question is, how much have you lost? This is a little bit of a complicated question, but in the end, I'm happy with it. So I started on September 19th, 2019 at 209 pounds, and I lost 35 pounds, got down to 174 after 9 months. So lost pretty consistently throughout that time. And that's how long it took me to get to my goal weight, which was 175. So last August, around there sometime, I kind of started to slowly regain about 10 pounds. A lot of factors went into that. Some health things, some holiday eating, all of that kind of thing. Regained 10 pounds, and then this year I've been working on losing that 10 pounds, kind of been going up and down within that range, but I have consistently stayed at a 25-pound loss, which honestly I've never done in my entire life up to this point. I've lost weight many times in my life and always regained plus some on top of that. That's been my pattern for a very long time. So the fact that even though I'm not back down to my goal weight, the fact that I've maintained that 25-pound loss is a really big deal for me, and I'm happy with it, and I'm gonna get back down to that goal weight. It's just a matter of, tweaking some things and staying consistent, and I know that I will get back down there, so I'm not worried about it. I definitely don't feel that I am overweight, even though according to the BMI right now I'm, about 5 or 6 pounds overweight for my height. I'm 5'11", by the way. I know that's important to know as well. So pretty tall girl. So the second question kind of goes along with that. How fast can you see results? Okay, this is such a complicated question because fasting is not like a traditional diet. It's not a crash diet. It's not something that will work fast and furious for everyone. Now, there are some people who will lose very quickly. You will see that time and time again. People are just shedding the pounds. Usually that's gonna happen when someone is very overweight and has a lot to lose. They will lose more quickly. Not always though. And even some people who don't have a lot to lose will lose quickly. But the thing with fasting is there's a lot going on in your body. There's a lot of healing processes happening. And so it takes time for a lot of people to actually even see results. I highly recommend the book Fast, Feast, Repeat by Jen Stevens. I have it linked below. It explains a lot of this for people who have a hard time losing in the beginning. She actually recommends not weighing for the first month that you go on intermittent fasting because some people don't lose weight. Some people even gain weight. It really depends on what you were doing before. I know that I actually did gain weight when I started intermittent fasting because I didn't start with alternate day fasting. And I honestly don't recommend that you start with alternate day fasting. I really don't. And I recommend building up to that. So when I started intermittent fasting, I was coming off of 2 years on and off of doing keto, and I'll get to that in a minute. But so I then introduced a bunch of foods, and I think because of that, it made me gain weight in the beginning. And I also wasn't very consistent with my fasting schedule, which is what led me to alternate day fasting eventually. But it happens with a lot of people. So I just want to put that out there that results definitely vary. A lot of people will start alternate day fasting to break a stall when they've been doing intermittent fasting for a while. And sometimes that works just like magic for people, and sometimes it still takes a while. So I really wish I could tell you how long it will take and what your results will be, but it just really varies so much. Okay, so the third question is, do you do keto or paleo or vegan or any kind of particular diet? And the answer is no, I do not. I don't have any food restrictions. The only thing that I don't eat are the foods that I know personally don't work well for me. I've had to do some elimination diets in the past for myself and also for my son when I was nursing him. He had a lot of food sensitivities. And so through those experiences, I've learned the foods that just don't work well for me. And so those are the things I avoid. Sometimes I eat them anyway and I just suffer the consequences. But for the most part, yeah, I don't restrict anything at all. And I've done different diets in the past. I don't like try to dog on any diets. I'm not going to criticize people for the way they eat. Everyone has to choose what works best for themselves, and that's through a long time of experimentation. So sometimes what works well for you in one season of your life is not going to work later on. And I think that's really important for anybody to sort of recognize that we are always changing. Our bodies and our needs are always changing. And as far as what I eat, I still eat junk food sometimes, but I eat overall a lot cleaner than I used to. I think that with fasting, what you'll find and hear from a lot of people is that over time your taste just changed naturally. And I'm not really sure why that is, if it has something to do with the fasting itself or just because you are eating in a smaller condensed period of time. And so you just, want things to be really high quality and good. But either way, that's something you're going to hear a lot if you start to listen to other people's stories. And it's definitely been true with me. So the last question, and this is sort of goes along with that, is do you count calories? And I do not. I have not counted calories since the very beginning of fasting, other than when I tried doing a modified down day, which is a modified fast day is when you eat around 500 calories, and then you just have your full eating day the next day instead of doing a full day fast. Some people that works really well for them. Doesn't work so well for me. I just don't enjoy doing it that way. But yeah, so other than that, no. I have counted calories just out of curiosity on a few different occasions. And if I had to estimate, I would say that on my eating days, I eat anywhere between 2,000 to even up to 4,000 calories if I'm going out to eat or something. But I don't count. And the thing that I don't really want to get into the science of calorie counting. Dr. Jason Fung has a lot of great videos on this topic, or you can read in the obesity code, which I also have linked below. But calories in, calories out, it just doesn't work the way that they say it does because of your hormones. You have insulin and you have your hunger and satiety hormones. You have ghrelin, you have leptin. And when those hormones are in balance and they're working properly, then your body will gravitate you to naturally eat the amount that you need. And of course, it takes some other, some other thinking processes, like what you're eating and all of that. But I think we can all agree that 1,500 calories of candy bars is not the same thing as 1,500 calories of broccoli or lean chicken or something, So there is difference. There are big differences in the makeup of different calories. So I just try to learn from my experiences and be mindful. And it's a journey, it's a progress, it's a progression. It's something that I don't think we should ever expect to be perfect at. I don't think we should ever expect to eat the exact perfect amount to the gram every day of our lives. I just don't think that's realistic. And on top of that, our bodies have different needs on different days, depending on your activity and your stress level. And for women, your hormonal cycles. And so we have to honor those changes in our bodies. And I think that a lot of the time, calorie counting just takes away from that innate knowledge that we have to be more in tune with our bodies. And so I definitely don't do it. I don't want to do it. I hate it. So, if you do it and it works for you and you love it, like I know some people absolutely love tracking things, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as you enjoy it. But just be aware that, you have to not restrict too much because it's going to backfire on you. So those are just the questions that I get kind of the most often. And I wanted to hop on here and just kind of give my review of the past 2 years, answer a few questions. I honestly feel like alternate day fasting is a great tool for a lot of people. It's not something that is for everyone, and you just have to maybe try it out for maybe a month to see if it works for you, and be really consistent. And pay attention to not just the weight, your measurements, take pictures, but also how you feel. What did you feel before you started and what are you feeling now? Because those things are, in the end, more important than the number on the scale. So let me know if you have any questions, and feel free to follow me along on the rest of my journey. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.